Roger Cook here. So thanks for joining me in session 49 of the Mastering Mandelbulb 3D Formula tutorial series. Now, what I want to do here is I want to introduce you to the JIT compiler. All right, now JIT, G-I-T, stands for just in time. Now, with the Mandelbulb 3D, you have some capability of modifying certain types of formulas, and you can certainly write your own formulas too if that's the road you want to go down. But we do have some ability to bring in other formulas, edit those formulas, and like I say, even create your own formulas. Now, I'm not really sure whether or not you're going to get a whole lot of use out of this session, maybe the next one or two, but it will help you to better understand some additional capabilities that you have pertaining to formulas within the Mandelbulb 3D application. So let's talk about that. Now, your screen here, I've had to drop down into a full display in order to be able to see all of the windows that we're going to be popping up here. Now, let's start with a fairly straightforward concept. You can open up formula files or formula scripts directly. The way you do that is with this little folder icon here. Now, if I click on that, I have reset, by the way. All right, I'm reset. There's no I'm in alternate hybrid mode. There's no formulas assigned. I've reset. So if I click on this file open, that's going to give me the ability to open M3F files. That's the extension of M3F. That is a formula script file that the Mandelbulb 3D application can read. All right. Now, we talked about this in an earlier session. In the Mandelbulb installation directory, you do have an M3 folders folder. All right, and that contains the file script that can be opened up and executed with the Mandelbulb 3D software application. But just to continue this formula open idea here, let's just take bristowbrought.m3p. I'm going to open that. Now, this illustrates that I can open up a formula, all right, directly. I don't have to use the drop-down, all right? I don't have to. If I have a pretty good idea what formula I'm after, I can actually load it directly, all right? Let's say that I wanted a transform formula. There it is, the underscore. All right, or let's say I wanted, I don't know, let's say Rain Man. All right, open that. So there's my formula. I'll just calculate it so that we can see that we actually got the Rain Man formula loaded. Okay, so the first concept is that you can manually load any Mandelbulb formula, assuming, of course, that it is structured so that Mandelbulb 3D application can understand it. Now, you don't, as long as it's an M3F file, you can open up any M3F file. Let me illustrate that. So I'm going to go back to my open icon. Now, along with the later versions of the Mandelbulb 3D software, there's a folder called em_jit_m3 Formulas. I'll just click on that and go into that folder. So what do we have? I don't know, what do we have? About 20 or 30 of these additional formulas. Now here's a key point. What's interesting is that these JIT_EM formulas are not loaded with the drop-downs. They're not there. The drop-downs from the formula category don't see these JIT_EM, but I can manually load them. Let me just pick something here. Saturn. Here we go. We'll pick this one. We'll open it. Now let's calculate it. So what I've done is I have just loaded an M3F formula script that is not found in any of these drop downs. All right, because it's in an entirely different folder. All right, so in this session, what I wanted to show you is that you can manually load formulas. If I go to formula slot number 2 and I do a load, let's go back to the normal Mandelbulb. Oh, let's say I wanted to put a transform in there. Something like that. Okay. So now in formula slot number 2, I have a transform, and I have here's the JIT that I just loaded. I'm going to switch their location here. Come on. These drop downs is terrible. Okay, and let's try executing this. Okay. So what I've done here is I have applied an escape time formula that came along with the Mandelbulb application and that the drop downs do see. Let's see if I can find that. All right, where is that E? Oh, there it is. Okay, it looks like it's it's an ADS maybe? Oh, it looks like it's an ADS. Come on. Okay, it's down in here. Okay, it's going to be down. It's an ADS. It's down in here somewhere. All right, they don't make it easy, do they? Oh, where is that? Every time I go looking for these formulas in the stack here, there it is right there. All right, so that is a 3D escape time formula that I loaded manually using the file, the formula file open icon. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to do in this session, is to introduce your ability to open and manually load a formula. Now you can manually load formulas other than the ones that are actually provided with the Mandelbulb3D installation. For instance, if you were up online and you found somebody who had created a Mandelbulb3D readable formula, you could download that formula and open it up here in the Mandelbulb3D application, as long as the formula is compatible with the Mandelbulb3D application. Okay, so that's what I wanted to accomplish in this session, to show you how to manually open a formula, and obviously open it and execute it so that you can see what it looks like. What we're going to do in the next session is we're going to talk about this JIT right here. All right, that is just in time. That's what JIT stands for, and it gives you the ability to edit formula scripts. All right, we're going to talk about that in the next session. I'll see you there.